Hi, I'm Bill.
I'm Laurie.
And welcome to our channel. The purpose of this video is to share with you our thoughts in 2021, April 21st, we purchased our 2021 Winnebago Solis 59PX. Today's date is April 15th, 2024. So we've, effectively we've owned it for 3 years. So we just wanted to share a couple of thoughts on ownership and was it the right thing for us to do. If you've seen our earlier videos, you know we downsized from a Class A motorhome to the Solis. And but before we get into that discussion, I just want to say this is the 12th night of a trip. So today we're about 3.5 hours from home. We're at Pismo Beach State Park, and we headed out to New Mexico. So we've had a great trip past 12 days, seeing beautiful parts of New Mexico, Arizona, and we'll do a couple of videos and share some of the places we've been, a couple of RV parks that we want to highlight that we found very great places and that kind of stuff. And also at the end of this video, we're going to throw in some pictures from our 3 years of travel. So if you stay to the end, you'll see some pictures. And other than that, let me start by just saying that the Solis is basically stock. We've done nothing to it other than Laurie replaced the nozzle on the faucet in the sink, so it has a better sprayer, right?
Right.
And when did we did that early
That
on?
was very early on. My first and only modification. Bill wanted to keep the the Solis as original as possible, which isn't necessarily the ideal for a woman traveling.
And after 3 years, I've decided to give in, and Laurie has free license to do what she wants to do in the interior to, I guess you feel we can get more effective storage?
Mm-hmm. Better organization, especially cooking and just everyday items that are much more available without pulling out boxes and rearranging things when you're trying to find something to cook with.
Yeah, and I will say though, over the 3 years, the amount of storage that the Solis provides has been phenomenal in my view. Yes, you got to crawl in sometimes under the Murphy bed to find some things.
Mm-hmm. But we do have the 59PX, which gives us an additional foot or so.
I don't know, but you get some additional space behind the
so
rear
we're able
wheels.
to bring a lot of clothing. We had to go to an event where we had to dress this year, and so we were able to bring our normal clothing plus clothing that was more appropriate for the event that we had to go to, and we did have space for that.
Right, and we use packing cubes. I'm sure you've seen them. They're kind of like fabric with a little bit of netting on them to let the clothes vent. So we use those. We find them very effective. We can use the, Laurie and I got into a discussion the other day where she thought she's on, let's say, the passenger side storage, which has a deeper storage in the rear, but it's a little bit shorter in length. And she was telling me that I had more storage than her, and that really wasn't true.
But he does also have all his camera equipment and some of his personal items in the front cabinet near the passenger seat.
Right, and I do use the overhead. Some people call it the pizza oven in the Solis, that storage area there. So I do use that for some of my clothes, packing cubes, and random stuff that I stick up there. That's where our dish towels are up in that area. The hats, we take a few hats with us. I think the trick is not to overpack. I'm an overpacker, I'll admit it. So if you could be a little bit more minimal, that probably works. But I did want to highlight, we did do a 39-day trip in the Solis. That's been our longest trip so far. We went out to Colorado, to Overland West, spent 39 days, Montana.
Went to Yellowstone.
Yeah,
Idaho. We went to the not the, is it? Where the trip to the road to the moon or road to the sun?
Oh yeah.
Was that on?
No, that
that
Glacier National Park.
Oh, that was.
But that was
trip.
with the trek.
Oh.
That wasn't with the van. But where I was going with this is for 39 days, plenty of. We had enough storage, not a problem whatsoever. Now we do carry an extra refrigerator, DC compressor refrigerator. We have a review up on our site about the Bouge RV 53-quart freezer. It could be either a fridge or a freezer. That's held up well. We'll do another video on that because it's just keeps going. It's we have a way that we can stick it in between the driver's seat and the passenger seat when we're stopped. We stick it where the table goes when we travel. So it's been pretty easy to deal with. Provides us that extra freezer storage, which is really great. But
we should also mention that we have the hardtop.
Yeah, we do have the hardtop. We don't have the. When we purchased the Solis, it was when there was a lot of supply chain issues, and Winnebago couldn't get the pop-up tops, so they pushed a few out that were hard tops with no pop-up tent on top, and we're very happy with that model, and it's serving us well. No engine issues. We've got 46,648 miles on it right now where it's sitting. It's time for new tires, so we'll take care of that. We've taken it into the dealer once or twice for service because you need to go to a place that has a lift that can lift the Solis because of the water tank, the gray water tank. It presents a challenge for some shops.
This is for tire rotation.
Well, no, this is just in general if they have to hoist up the Solis to get to the underneath. Not any lift is necessarily going to be able to do it. Some can do it, but they'd have to disassemble the gray water tank, and we prefer not to do that, so we take it to the dealer for that. Oil changes have been at like Jiffy Lube and other places when we're on the road and it's time for an oil change, so that's been great over the past 3 years. The Truma heating system for both hot water and cabin heat, no issues.
Yeah, and it's pretty efficient. It heats up very quickly, the water.
It does.
And for showers, there's plenty enough water for showers.
The kitchen spigot fixture became a little loose, but you just reach up underneath and tighten the nut and to secure it in place. I did lose a mud flap that I haven't replaced. The 2800 watt generator, no problems. We run it regularly. And
the other day we used our air conditioner for the first time.
For the first time, we were in Lake Havasu City. And again, as you probably know, if you follow the various news groups around the Solis, you can expect maybe 15, maybe 20 degree temperature difference between ambient and inside the van temperature, which was up over 100 at Lake Havasu City, so it was 80s inside, which was comfortable. But really, yeah, it is the first time we use the air conditioner.
Yeah, usually we use because we don't have a hot pop top, we have an air vent or air circulator in the front.
Yeah, we have a fan.
And so that's usually all we need for...
We open the windows, and if it's really hot, like when I go to the desert, I open the back doors, and there's a netting screening there that I put in place and get nice flow-through ventilation. So I go to the desert oftentimes in the, well, any time of the year, because I'm an astrophotographer, and I'll throw a couple of the astrophotography pictures in as well, with some of the pictures of a few of our more notable trips over the past 3 years. So overall, this van has met my expectations, downsizing from a Class A motorhome. How about you?
And we find cooking in the van very easy. If I do eggs or, bacon, something like that, I try to cook outside. I don't think we've cooked any meat.
No, generally what we're doing, we're steaming some vegetables inside.
We made breakfast, eggs, but
yeah,
primarily we usually cook on our trips. We've made, we used our Instapot to make short ribs once, using our Jackery to provide the.
Yeah, we have a video up on that we did.
And we've used our rice cooker to make like a casserole.
Yep,
so
we have a video up on that one also, yeah.
So I find this, cooking and sink could be a little bit larger, but that's with any RV. I think that you wish you had a bigger kitchen, I think, unless you have a huge motorhome.
And clearly the having Jackeries along, for those places where you don't have electric power, has been helpful in my view. And we just added our 4th Balder 120 watt portable solar panel. Again, we always have the generator. If we really need electric power, you can fire up the generator. It's very quiet. So it's friendly if you're in an environment where there's other campers around you, so there's just a lot. It's been a nice way to travel.
It's so much easier than the trek. Dumping your waste is easy, very simplified process, and just being able to go to the grocery store, not worrying about parking. We find street parking almost all the time if we need to go to a park or something. We really haven't had any issues.
Right, and for those that might be dropping into the channel for the first time, our former motorhome was a what we call a Trek. It was a 28-foot Class A. I wanted at the time, the shortest Class A motorhome, and we pulled our Honda Element. So the great thing about the van is you pretty much, within a couple of hours of putting your packing cubes in, throwing some groceries in, you're basically ready to go. And like Laurie said, parking is no longer an issue. I was always telling Laurie no when we drove the Class A motorhome. When I drove at the Class A motorhome, no, we can't go there. No, we can't go there.
Bill doesn't like to stop anyway.
Well, I stop now with the van because it's only 21 feet, and in our travels through Arizona, Las Cruces, into New Mexico, White Sands, we were able to take what I call the small roads, where you find the interesting stuff. And really, we didn't do much interstate travel whatsoever. But again, really this was a video about sharing our experience over 3 years as far as the performance of the 2021 Winnebago Solis 59PX, as far as its capability of meeting our needs for the type of travel that we want to do. And I give it a A+ from my perspective. How about you?
Yeah, in fact, I'm kind of surprised you said it. We could get ready in a couple hours. Actually, we have a lot of things already in the van, so we can really just take off almost any time.
Well, that's what I mean. But we don't, I don't keep a complete set of clothes in the van, so I gotta, pack a few things and put them in. I gotta throw my computers in there, or laptops or tablets. We generally don't keep those in the van. So there's just those things that we don't keep in the van that I have to throw in.
So one of the luxury items that we have is the Starlink.
Oh yeah, we do use the Starlink, although I will say on this trip here, we didn't use it. I carried it with us in case we needed it. We recently switched to T-Mobile, and as you know, T-Mobile acquired Sprint, and Sprint already had a pretty good cellular network. And I think there was only one place, Lyman Lake State Park in Arizona, outside St. John's. It had good T-Mobile coverage at the registration office, but where our campsite was, it was not good.
You know, maybe you could tell people what the Starlink is.
Oh, well, I think most people that are in the RV community understand what a Starlink is, but for those that don't, it is a satellite capable way of getting internet connectivity provided by SpaceX, and it's basically a small rectangular dish of a sort that connects to a router, and you power the router, and then you connect to it via Wi-Fi, the router that comes with the Starlink. I think it was $565 for the hardware, and then it's $150 a month subscription service. And we didn't turn it on this trip, but if we needed that connectivity, we could have activated it for now, and it would be good for a month, and then we could turn it off if we don't need it. But
yes. So we can use it to stream movies, watch TV, because we have YouTube TV, and make phone calls, text. It's really a wonderful luxury item to have.
It's a nice to have. You know, it's not a requirement, but it's a nice to have. And when I go out to the desert around new moon each month, and if I make a couple of videos when I'm out in the desert for my Astro Vagabond channel, then it allows me to upload them when there's no other means of cellular service available. So it's a nice to have luxury item. I would like them to drop the monthly subscription price, but at the end of the day, it's a good value if you need the connectivity. And actually I helped, so good to have. All right, anything else we really want to say?
No.
So our decision to downsize from the Class A motorhome 3 years ago was a good one, right?
Oh yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
It was the best decision. If you know, we're only a couple,
right?
So we don't travel. We travel with friends that have their own vehicles, recreational vehicles.
Right.
So we aren't transporting anybody.
Right. Yeah, we don't have kids, and I think that's where the original Solis with the pop-up was kind of designed for a four-person family where you have 2 children, you know, 2 adults, and that was kind of good. But just being Laurie and myself, it's been a great solution. So, all right, I think that's about it. We're going to throw some pictures in from some of our travels, and we may even do another video just of our travels over the past 3 years. But anyway, thanks for dropping in. If you have any questions or comments, we are going to do a couple of reviews on our Pelonis portable heater that we've been using, and it's going strong after 4 or 5 years. Our Bouge RV 53 quart refrigerator or freezer that's been going strong. We bought a new single burner butane single burner, a butane cook burner, and we'll be doing a review of that in the future. And I think it's from Eureka, if I'm not mistaken. We have the Eureka camp stove that we moved to recently, which is butane. There's a video on the channel on that if you're interested. But Laurie and I hope we're going to get out a little bit more. Laurie's mom's still with us. She's 99 years old, so Laurie likes to stay closer to home, so we haven't been doing any long trips. But, you know, with summer coming, maybe we'll get a couple of those shorter trips in and share some of the experiences that we're having from different locations where we camp and everything. So, all right, thanks again for dropping into the channel. And what do we always say?
Like, share, and subscribe.
All right. See you
on the
road.